Welcome, Wonders, to Told You What Colors. It is time to dive into what I've been up to for the month of January. So I'm very excited to show you the pages that I've completed in these coloring books for the month of January. Before I dive into the pages for the month, I do have a quick question for all the colorists out there and anybody watching who knows of a good watercolor to use in array of different books with the different pages. I do want to get myself some watercolors to add to the mediums that I work with in my pages, but I want to hear from you guys to see what your experiences have been and what you think is the best or what your favorite is to work with. So let me know down in the comments a good watercolor, and hopefully I can add that to my mediums for the month of February, if not definitely in the very near future. So let me know. Now we can get into the books. I wanted to pick your brains and see what your favorite watercolors were, because I definitely want to add that to the mediums that I work with. I think I'd have a lot of fun working with watercolors. So anyway, this was a little tiny, it is a coloring book, they say it's a sketchbook, that I got from my pack of metallic markers from Shuttle Art. So this was in the box that I got with my markers, and it was starting to fall apart, and so I just helped it a little bit and I tore it apart. Because the pages were coming out, so I was like, you know what, let me just help you out there, buddy, and get all your pages out. There we go. So in the very beginning of January, when I was still getting used to all the fun things that I got, I wanted to just pull out my fine liners and do something really quick. So I did this mandala on like the first or second day of January, and I picked out 3 different colors. I was gonna add more, but I need to try to tell myself to work with less colors sometimes, just to see what I can make of it. So I just did this quick mandala for fun, and because it was with fine liners, getting into the details of the mandala was easy, but then getting into the larger parts of it was more of a challenge because the tip of the pen was so small that not getting the streaks was almost impossible for me. I don't know if it is possible, but it was really hard. I tried my best, but that was just something fun that I did. So that's on like the first or second day of January. I was just like, oh, that was fun. Done. So I did that, and then after doing this one, I looked through another page in this little book to play around with more fine liners and more colors. And that's when I ended up doing this fox, and I love this fox. He's one of my favorites. I absolutely love him. I love the way it turned out, even though I was just playing around at first. It was just the fox with the rug on the page, and I told myself, you're gonna do a background for this one. He deserves a background because he's super cute. So I wanted to stick to the mentality of keeping the fox as all warm colors, and then his scarf and blanket going around him the cool colors, and then to add the greens in the rug. So I think I almost used all my fine liners for this, almost all of them, to try to just change up all the different warm colors and cold colors and greens on just the fox. And then that's when I got my Tombow markers. So with the one brown Tombow marker that I have, I wanted to put this fox like sitting on a porch, like a front porch or a back porch. So I started coloring in to make it look like wood grain, to have him sit on his porch, and then I put the railings in. And then the middle of working on this, I did not do this in one day. In the middle of working on this, we got a snowy day here, and I went outside, I took a picture at my back, and the colors of the sky and the snow that we got looked just like this. and I was so inspired and I wanted to imitate that day, and I went right upstairs and I started coloring, and I loved the way that it came out because it really does look like that. I forget if it was morning or evening. I'm pretty sure it was the evening, unless it was a weekend, because I wouldn't be able to go right up and start coloring. But I had so much fun with it. This was with my Crayola colored pencils, and I really like the way that they blended together. I don't know if it's better if I keep it down here. There's more light down here, but then you can see the details up here. I don't know. I gotta try to work on figuring this out. But yeah, it was really fun the way that it all came together. I really like this page a lot. And then for the stars, I did my silver metallic markers. And I think these are supposed to be snow coming down. I'm not sure, but I turned them into bubbles, I guess. So it's a snowy, bubbly day. Because these snowflakes were here going around. The stars were there going around. And then there were just circles. So I was like, is that supposed to be snow when we already have snowflakes? I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna color them like bubbles, and it's gonna be a fun, snowy, bubbly day. So yeah, so that's how that one turned out. And I love it. I really, really do love it. And then playing more with my Tombow markers, I just did another mandala out of the book. So again, sticking with cool colors for the mandala, trying to limit my palette. I really enjoyed the way this one came out. It's such a small page. I'm really trying to find like the best spot to catch the color. I did have to move because there is a window at the side, and usually I'm recording this way on my L-shaped desk. So it goes like this and then it comes down. And usually I'm on this side, and there is a window there, and I hardly get any light from it. But now the sun is like shining through, so it's like all these sun spots on the desk over there, and I didn't want that to interfere with showing. So now I'm on the side, and my light is really, really different. So yeah, but a nice, fun Tombow colored mandala. And then playing around with the Tombows a little bit more, I did pull this page out, and I really, really enjoyed coloring these flowers with the pink Tombow marker that I have. And I did do the leaves and stem as well. And I did base the butterflies with Tombows, and I did the background in the Tombows. And I didn't go over this with any pencils. I was kind of disappointed with how the background came out. The top yellow color was a little bit darker than what I wanted it to be. And then I kind of just wished that I went through the whole background with just this yellow, this lighter yellow color. But I wanted it to look groovy. I don't know. So it's all right. It's not too shabby, but I didn't enjoy the streaks, and I know I could have gone over that in Prisma, which I did. I did bring in my Prismas over top of the flowers, the leaves, and the butterflies. But because I didn't really like the way the background turned out, I kind of just stopped and I said, that's it. That's the page. So I think it turned out pretty nice, pretty okay. And I had a lot of fun working on it. I like these smaller pages because it just feels like it's not as much work to get done. I don't know. It comes together pretty quickly. So I did what I could with this one. I'll put it down here. It's like further away, but it's in the light. I don't know the best way to show it. So I am trying to like point it towards the light of the window, but then the image is skewed. So we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, so that was that one. And then out of my Pattern Harmony book, I did do, hold on, let me zoom. Let me do it this way. That's probably best. I did do all my videos on this, so they're all posted on YouTube of me just coloring these pages. I did this one on my own. But yeah, I started coloring these pages, and then I was like, I feel like I could make them into something more. So then on the next one, I started to do shadow work. They're just really simple alcohol marker pictures. So then I started to do more of shadow on this one, and it came together nicely. I really enjoyed how that one came out. And then the last one that I did was this one. And with this one, I had the idea that I wanted it to be the metallic markers going over the bold black lines. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the way that it came out, but I think a couple of the markers in the Shuttle Art metallic marker set is like losing its shine. And you can tell on the purple lines that I tried to do, they didn't come out as shiny. So everything else is really nice. The gold came out nice, the green, the pink one, and the blue one, and the orange one. There's just all different colors. But then on these purple ones, it looks like there's no shine to it at all, hardly. So I don't know. I tried to I looked at the tip and it still showed that it had metallic on it, but it wasn't coming down on the paper. So I still like the way the page turned out. But yeah, these were my pages that I did. And like I said, each one there's a coloring on my channel for. These are my long shorts. They were supposed to be really quick videos, maybe like 15 minutes long, which this one was. And then this one was a little bit longer because I really had to pay attention to the pattern. And then I decided to go and do my shadows. So this one took longer. And then I decided to go over the lines in metallic markers. So it took even longer. So I'm like, wow, these are really, really long shorts. So let me do this. Hold on. I'm trying to get you. There we go. All right, so my Johanna Basford planner, not much has changed. If you watched my my coloring book haul, I did show my images from this planner, and I didn't really get to accomplish much after it. So I didn't get all the weeks done. I am behind already, but it is what it is. I cannot stress about coloring, because coloring is supposed to be de-stress, right? So I'm not gonna get upset about it. It is just gonna be what it is. This is all for fun. So when I get to it, I will get to it. I do want to finish all the pages in the planner one day, but it probably won't be for the year. But I'm still gonna make an honest attempt to stick with the months. So I think I'm just gonna leave January where it's at, and then move towards February and try to get done what I can for February, and so on. So that I can try to at least keep up with everyone else going through the planner through the year as well. So this was something fun and small and short that I did, sitting on the couch watching a movie with the kids. So I really enjoy that. It's really neat to look at an image and remember the time and place that you were at when you were doing it, because I just remember having a lot of fun with this and hanging out with the kids. So yeah, this was done with my Prismacolors, and I really like the tropical feel that I got from it, even though I don't think it's supposed to be tropical, but I kind of put my own spin on it. So the flowers on the outside seem more tropical to me, and then it's like a hydrangea in the middle. I'm not very good with flowers. So I kind of just throw a color on them and they look nice to me. Kind of have like a pansy vibe, pansy hydrangea vibe. So that was that, something small and fun to do. This one was my absolute favorite to work on. I enjoyed coloring this so much, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's okay, I do like this more than my fox, so maybe my fox is second. This one is, I don't know. I'm really proud of myself for accomplishing this, and almost giving it more of a realistic vibe. I don't color realistically very often at all. I love bright colors. I love bringing bright colors into my works and playing with colors and just having fun. But with this one, I did the rocks first, all done with Prismacolor. I did the rocks down here at the bottom first, and just the way that it turned out, I was like, oh wow. I was like, that looks really nice. So I did add my own kind of like mossy, overgrown feel to it. And after doing that, when I worked from the bottom up, so I did the clouds and the sunflowers next. And I was like, well, I can't have like these bright, obnoxious pink flowers. You know, after doing something so nice like that, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to make them nice sunflowers. So I did that. And then I did the clouds and I was like, wow. I was like, all right, now I can't get crazy with the castle. I was like, everything's just coming together so nice. So I pulled out more realistic tones, tried to get like a wood feel, a brick feel, stone, and then like a sandstone finish for like my thoughts of the castle was the status of the person who would be like living in it. So that's how I approached each building. So I was like, well, from what I learned, back in the old days, the dyes for blue and purple were most expensive to get. So the rich people always had the blue and the purple dyes. So I put those on the biggest buildings. And then from there, I broke it down to like stone buildings and the smaller buildings being like wood or brick. So I took that approach to it. Like I said, just very realistic. So I'm very proud of myself for that one, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I think my metal work, trying to put the copper feel to it, came out really nice. So I really enjoyed that. I took one brown Prismacolor and one orange Prismacolor, and I made it work. So yeah, that one was a lot of fun. So I had fun in that one, and then I found out that I could do it again in the Small Victories book. I saw it, so I was like, yay, I get to do it again, and maybe I can go crazy on that one. I don't know. So the next one was this one here. I did not get a chance to finish it off. I did the bottom flowers in my Tombow markers, and I did the background in Tombows as well, but I did go over the background with Prismacolors to try to get rid of the streaks. And actually, from what I'm seeing, it looks better on camera than it does in real life. I can definitely see a lot of the streaks. I think this is a pretty bad area. I mean, it is what it is. It still worked out really nice. I like the gold background. I love the flowers at the bottom here. I do enjoy the way that it's coming together. I tried to make the background of the flowers down here just a wash of green to make it look like the stems and the greenery coming up from the ground. And then for the background of the flowers here, I just did a bunch of pink to make it look like overgrown with a bunch of flowers. So that was my approach to the bottom section. And then I knew I just wanted a plain background, so I chose yellow. And then I think for the rest of it, I'm just gonna do my my Prismacolor pencils probably to finish off the desk. That's all the chair is. The chair is the Prismacolor pencils, and I'll do the same for the details in the desk. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to finish it, but it will be one day. So that's what I got on that one. And then this one here, this one was actually a fun page to do. I enjoyed the wallpaper page a lot because I knew as soon as I chose a color for the leaves, that was it, and I did the leaves. And as soon as I chose a color for the flowers, that was it. And I did the flowers and I did the lemons. And then I did alcohol marker in the background. And it's really wild because the feel of the alcohol marker in the Johanna Basford planner with this paper, it felt so different from all the other pages that I did this month. This was one of the last things that I did for this month, was add this background in. And I was like, wow, I kind of really like the feel of that. But it doesn't blend as well. It kind of just stays. And I don't think many people would do alcohol marker in Johanna's paper because she has her pages double-sided. But because it was the planner, I actually really like the way the background looks. It almost gives like a really nice page to like journal on. I like the way that looks. But yeah, you wouldn't want to ruin anything in her actual book. So I can see why you wouldn't want to use alcohol marker. But it was really fun to feel the way that marker laid on this page. The rest was done in the Tombow markers. So I did my Tombows again for everything. I looked up lemon trees to see what color the flowers are supposed to be. And I believe from what I saw, they're supposed to be like a very, very light pink or a white even, something like that. But I went with purple because it's complementary to yellow. So I did research it before I did it and I was like, well, I think I'll like purple better. So I did the purple. And that's all that I got out of the planner. I didn't do the last solid week of January, so that one's still uncolored. And then this week here, this is today, Saturday, February 1st. So technically, I guess I'm only one page behind minus the writing desk on this one. So I'm not that far behind, but this is gonna be a bit. So we'll see what I can do. I do want to keep up with this planner. A couple fast pages that I did in the Coco Wild Little Corner book. This was really nice to do. My daughter has some of these books as well, so it's nice to sit on the couch with her and do our colorings together. I also do go over to a friend's house of mine who lives down the road from me. She and I have been tag teaming on being sick this month. So it was really difficult to try to get together. It's been a month. So my prayers go out to her. She has 2 little ones and it's just been a mess. But we did what we could and we still tried to stay strong on coloring together. So we've been enjoying doing that together and diving into these fun little books. They're so relaxing to do. And it's a huge stress reliever to come in, color with the alcohol markers and mindlessly color in these fun images. I thought on this one the box looked too perfect, so I put some watermarks on it because I was like, everything just looks too perfect. So I was like, let me mess up the box a little bit. I really do like also putting my shadows in as the same color as the image. So like on this front one, the pot here has a brown shadow. And this basket here has the more yellow shadow and the bucket here has its gray shadow. So I really liked shadowing, mimicking the color of the actual item. So I did that here as well with the weights. I did a pink shadow and I don't know, it just really works. I like it a lot. I did the test color page. That was fun to do. Trying to work on like getting used to blending with the markers and just seeing the way the colors look together. I think my strawberry jar is my favorite. I really liked my strawberry jar. I did break out my fine liners for that one to do the paper on the top of the jar for the strawberry, and then the Uniball, a Signo white gel pen came in and did some highlights. So yeah, this was my first page that I did. And it was so fun. Actually, no, it wasn't my first page that I did. It's the first page in the book. I wanted to go in order. The pizza page intimidated me. That's going to have to wait. But when I saw this, I didn't know how to color it. So I just went back to my childhood and I painted my bedroom from when I was a kid. I always wanted a Lisa Frank something. So I colored the teddy bear as Lisa Frank. Everything in my room was pretty much orange. I love the color orange. It is my favorite. It took many years, I'm gonna say, of begging for my mom to paint my walls orange. But it happened and love it. My curtains were then an orange sheer and just as much orange as possible. So it is a lot. It's heavy on the orange, but that is as realistic as it can be. I did have a log cabin quilt on my bed, but that was hard to do with how the alcohol marker bled on the paper. So I wasn't going to have this messy, blotchy looking quilt on the bed, so I just went with what I did. And I gave myself a Twilight book over here. Originally, it was just a book with a heart on it. I'm not a heart person, and I just thought if I were reading a book, what would it be? And it was definitely Twilight back then. And when I was done with the series, I would just start right back at book 1. So there's my Twilight book, and if you can recognize the spines on these books, this is the Harry Potter series. And I think it's so funny that they only had 6 books here, because at this time when I was in this bedroom, only 6 books were out. So we were still waiting for the 7th book to come out. So it just fits so perfectly with how this came together. Now, I would never have houseplants. We didn't have a cat. But I did have pom-poms, and I actually still have them. So I brought my pom-poms up. I love my pom-poms. So it's so funny. These, I think, are supposed to be like fairy lights, but I turned them into my pom-poms because I still have them. So yeah, I just did this one to mimic my room. And I had a lot of fun with it. So that was that one. The next one was this pet shop. I wanted to do more like pastel colors for this one and work on my blending more, perhaps. I think the only thing that I accomplished in that was the background. And then I did everything first and saved the cats for last. And because it was such a bright pastel page, I didn't really want a realistic cat there, so I just chose 2 colors and that was it. I was like, I love my magenta cat and my navy cat. They're perfect for the page. So that's my little pet shop that I did. I also did the bookshop. This one was fun, and it was kind of challenging too, because I tried to stick with a limited color palette, but I'm also a very, I pull things from the real world to help me with my coloring. And when I think of a bookshop, all the books are going to be completely different. They're not going to be the same colors. So it was actually challenging for me to color the books because I just picture every single book being different. But if you do that in coloring, it kind of doesn't look cohesive or as nice as if you chose a couple colors and just repeated throughout. So I tried a little bit of both. I tried coloring in just like 3 colors, and I was like, well, maybe I'll add 1 more color and another color and another color. Okay, now I'm done. So that one was a little bit more challenging for me because of the books, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I think the yellow of the building was a little bit brighter than what I was going for. I wanted more of a softer yellow, but I didn't accomplish that. But everything else I'm really happy with. I think it turned out nice. I like the pink background that I added to it. I just wanted it to be like a really warm feel. So yeah, and the little mouse is just so cute. I love him. So that one was fun to work on. And then this was the first page that I did. I worked at my friend's house. I gave her my book and I said, pick a page for me, and she picked this one. So this was the very first one that I colored in the book, and I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, just a simple computer room, the little cat. I like the blending that I did on the yarn. I feel like that came out really nice. I like my pink strawberry. The shadowing on the bed I think turned out really nice, so I'm working on it. I'm trying to make things make sense as far as where the light's coming in. Would there be light coming from the computer, light from the window? How would that work in the room? So I'm working on it. I think it turned out nice. So I enjoyed coloring that one. And then this page here was actually a buddy color with Kate. And I'll put her, she's on Instagram, I'll put her Instagram down in the description. So I had a lot of fun coloring with Kate. This was the second buddy color that we did together for the month of January. We did another one in Johanna Basford's Magical Worlds book. So I'll be showing that one soon. But yeah, again, I was trying to stick with a limited color palette, and I think it worked best on this page. I think everything came together really nicely. So I had a lot of fun doing that with Kate. Yeah, so that's everything out of my little corner book by Coco Wayo. My next one that I did was out of Weird Holidays. This is one that I told myself I wanted to color all the pages as each day went by in the year. It's just not gonna happen. There are so many. There were like at least 7 just for January, and if I did that, this would be the only book I colored in. So I think I'm gonna choose one page a month to do, and this was the page that I chose for January. It was Hugging Day. So this was really fun. Once again with my local friend here. Her favorite color is purple, my favorite color is orange. So I just colored both of us as squirrels giving each other a big hug, especially since we went through a lot this month with being sick. The poor kids. So we're just comforting each other. we can do it. We made it through. So that was really fun to work on. The paper was a little bit different, and I did work with my Crayola colored pencils on this one. And I don't know if it was just the mixture of the two that made it more difficult to color. I did bring out some Prismacolors for the purple in her dress just because there weren't as many purple colors to choose from out of my 36 pack of Crayolas. So I did add some Prismas, and it did color very nicely then on her dress. But it also like really went through my Prismacolor. So I was sharpening a lot when I was coloring on this paper. So I don't know what it was. So I'm interested to see how the next one turns out. And I was even thinking about getting my Crayola colored, my Crayola crayons, and seeing how they work in this book. So we'll see what I get done for this month, but that was what I did for the month of January. So I think I already picked out my page for February, but I am going to try to make a video, hopefully post it tomorrow, on my February plans so we can get that in. That'll be fun, and that'll help me stick with my pages. So I had just gotten this book in towards the end of January, but I could not help myself at all. Like the second that I got it, I needed to color in it. So out of Camila Angelikova's 50 Winter Miniatures, I colored this little bunny. It was so sweet. This has a mixture of more Christmassy pages and winter pages. So it made my decision easier to choose for what page I wanted to do, because I knew it had to be a winter scene. I did not want to color a Christmas scene. So I chose this little bunny, and it was interesting because I had already done a lot of my coloring in Little Corner by Coco Wyo, and I was getting so used to how the alcohol marker worked in that book that when I went to this book and started to do this page, it was different. I don't know how it was different, but it was different. And the way that the colors blend together wasn't as nice. I don't know. It ended up being kind of messy to me when I tried to blend. I did 3 different browns on the tree, and my idea was, because the candle's inside, I want the inside portion of the branches to be a lighter brown, and then to get darker as the image goes away from the light source. So I chose 3 different browns, and as I started blending them together, it kind of got like almost like refused to blend together. I don't know if you can see it very well. You can almost see it down here more. But it kind of like separated in a way. The original color that I laid down, it kind of separated and it didn't go together as nice. So I don't know, it was weird, and I don't know if it was just the brown specifically. I'm not sure, because then when I did the background of the entire image, I think I chose 3 or 4 different greens for the background wall. I think I chose 4 different greens. This one here blended it nicely into the next one, and then I think my next blend was here where the carrot is. I tried to find places where it wouldn't be as noticeable. So I tried to tie in my blend right where the icicle comes down and the carrot comes up, so that if it ended up being a bad blend, you wouldn't be able to tell as much. So that's where my 3rd color came in. And then I did this whole portion, and then this back here is where my 4th color came in. So I think that ended up working really nice. And down here in the snow, I don't even think I tried blending. I just did the darker color first, and then when that dried, I came back and I did the lighter color. So I'm gonna have to get used to these books. I didn't do any pencil work over top of it. I feel like I was stressed for time, and if I took too much time on one page, I wouldn't be able to get other pages done. So, and I'm okay with just the alcohol marker look. I really do enjoy it. And again, it's very stress relieving to just come in, color with marker, and have a nice finished page. Oh, and the other part was the bunny's head. That was a interesting blend. You can see it just kind of like separated almost when I tried coming in with like a shadow. This marker here was the same that I used on the ear up here, and the shadow for his paw and in his ear. But I did this part while this light gray was still wet, and it just kind of separated. So when I went to do the ear, I did it all in light gray. I waited for it to dry, and then I came back in with the darker one, and it laid nicely. So I think I just have to get used to now different pages and paper is gonna act differently with the alcohol markers, and I have to get used to how they work. But I had a lot of fun coloring in this cute little bunny. He was so fun. The very last page I did for the month was in Tatiana Bogma's Nice Little Town 10 book. And this is the page that a group of ladies are doing on Instagram, in an Instagram group. And I had so much fun with this one. At first, I had no idea where to start. To me, in the beginning, when I was looking at it, there was so much happening on the page, and I didn't know how to break it down and to start coloring it. But then I started to try to find inspiration from anywhere, and I was scrolling through Instagram, and I didn't search anything at all. I was just scrolling, looking at everybody's colored pages, and I kept seeing Wicked everywhere I turned. It was wicked here, wicked there, wicked everywhere. So it had me thinking of the Wizard of Oz then, and then all of a sudden I could see it, and I just started picturing Munchkinland in the original Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is what I want to do. I want this to be like a little scene from Munchkinland. So then I Googled Munchkinland, and the set was really nice looking, but it wasn't the feel that I wanted to go for the mushrooms. So I loosely based this page off of the set from The Wizard of Oz and made it my own. I love the houses that they had in Munchkinland, but it lacked a lot of color, and I wanted it to be more colorful. So I just took the main colors that I saw and put it on the page. And from there, it just was so easy to come together. And that's why the bottom of the road here is yellow, because I needed to put the yellow brick road in. So that's the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz. And yeah, everything else just came together really nice, and I had a really fun time with it. I hope I'll be able to show all the other ladies' pages on the side here. I should have put it off to the side more so that I could have been showing their pages as I was talking about this page. But yeah, it did come together really, really nice, and it was so fun to see all the different pages that were colored throughout the group. Mine was one of the last ones to come through since I just got it done on Wednesday. But that's alright, it's done, and I had so much fun, so I'm really excited to continue coloring in this book for the rest of the year with the ladies. So that is from the Nice Little Town 10. And I did finish off what I started. I think, did I start it in December? Or was it January? I forget now. But it was just the front of the page here. I did a very light brown on the branches, and that's it. So I told myself I really wanted to come back in this book and finish that front page. So I got it done. And I do enjoy the way that it came out. I don't think I intended it to be fully colored in like this, but it was hard for me to try to find a nice fade gradient to come into the center. So I just decided, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make my lightest part in the middle. And I didn't even pick the middle of the page. I think I got distracted from the words printed on the page, and I picked the middle of that instead of the middle from here. So it's a little off center. And then I went lighter and got darker as I went into the branches. Because first I started with the orange coming out this way, and I didn't know how to end it. So that's when I started working from the center here and coming out this way. And now that I'm looking at this, oh my gosh, I actually realized I didn't color the butterfly. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I think that happens a lot though. I see a lot of people do that. And so it makes me feel better. I'm not the only one, but it's so silly how you're coloring a page and you just completely forget something in it. All right, so this is a whip. And I'll have to finish it for February. That's so funny. Oh, the little butterfly. Oh, the poor butterfly. That's all right. I think I'll color him like pink and purple. But yeah, so this was something fun that I wanted to finish, and now I've got all my front pages done. Oh no, I have to color this one. Okay, so this I'm gonna do in February. I feel like it's hard for me to dive into the book when the front's not done, so I forgot about this one. Okay, and I have a question. When you're coloring with your colored pencils and you're burnishing the page that you're on, do you put a sheet in between? Because I notice I burnish so hard sometimes that the ink from this page will then adhere to the page here. So I think I have to put a separator page no matter what, so that my ink doesn't spread to the next page. Because that happens to me a lot. I'll notice that it'll get pressed into the image behind it. So I guess I just have to put that separator page in so that that doesn't happen. My last book that I have to show is from Magical Worlds. And I did a decent bit in this, but a lot of what I did were these little miniature pictures. The two that I did in January were these two. So the little mushroom boat down here, that is in a video on my YouTube. I'm trying to do all these little miniatures as like a nice quiet coloring, something to get away from the stress of the world and just sit, relax, and color along. Or if you just want to watch, it's just something fun to do. I like how they're little small images to do. Oops, I'm bumping my lamp. And I think doing that is bumping my camera. But yeah, they're just so fun. They're so fun to do. And it's very relaxing. So I did those. I did these two. I want to do more of the color alongs. I really enjoyed doing that with the boot that I did for the month of January. So hopefully I'll be able to get to more of those. It is more challenging to get to those. I just feel they take longer, and the time that it takes for me to do that is either late into the night or it just takes time away from family time. So it's like a bittersweet. It's like, yes, I do enjoy doing it, but then it takes my time away from something else. So I just have to prioritize that better. But I did this one, and I was recording. This was supposed to be one of the quiet colors. And I don't know what happened, but my phone just stopped recording it. But I think it turned out really nice. I really had a fun time coloring that one. And when I looked up, I was like, ah. But I do realize I have to practice my gems for sure. There is a gem page in this book, and I am extremely intimidated by that, especially after coloring this one, because although I do like and enjoy the way that this turned out, I want the entire gem page to look really, really nice. So I have some practicing to do. I just really enjoyed how the colors came together on this one. And this here was the second buddy color that I did with the lovely Kate. She reached out to me on Instagram, asked if I wanted to do a buddy color with her, and we ended up coming together to choose this page. And it was a lot of fun. It was really awesome getting to know somebody new and coming together in the coloring community to have a friend to color with in that sense. So I'm going to put her page up on the screen here. For my page, it was all done in Prismacolor. And after I was all done with it, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go over the lines for the moon and the stars with my white gel pen. I'm still back and forth on it because I still might go back and do it. And even the snow in the field here, I was like, well, do I go over it with my white gel pen, or will that take away from other things on the page? And I'm not sure how you guys approach those dilemmas, because once you do it, it's done and you can't undo it. So I know what it looks like now and I'm okay with it, but I have the ideas to go over the lines with my white gel pen. I just don't know. I don't know if I'll like it. So when do you tell yourself to stop? When do you tell yourself that you're completely satisfied with your page? Because I don't know. I don't know if I still want to do that or not. The second thing is the background for this page. I picture a really nice, like mimicking the clouds here almost, but lighter colors of yellow with an distress ink background. I don't have any distress ink right now. That's just my picture in my head for the background of this. So I didn't complete anything as far as the background goes because I don't have the distress inks. But that's what I picture in my head, and maybe I'll come back to this page and do it. I just really enjoyed the image of this. I had such a fun time coloring it, especially with Kate. She was such a good friend throughout the coloring experience, and still now. I'm really glad that she reached out to me. So yeah, I don't know if I want to go back to it or just leave it as is. When do you decide that you're done? Because I don't know. Oh, this is a whip. Oh, I forgot I marked this one. I started this one and then I told myself, you have to get out of this book. You have so many other books that you can color in. Get out of here and go color in your other books. This was still towards the beginning of the month. So I kind of kicked myself off with this one, but I wrote down my colors so that I could come back to it. I just knew as soon as I saw this page, I saw a yellow house. So I was like, all right, well, let's color it. So I started coloring it and I was like, I have so many other things to do right now. I can't color this house. I gotta do other things and I gotta color in other books. I will come back to you. So maybe this will be a page that I finish in February. We will see though, because I have ideas for this, but there's still so many things that I have set for February as well. So this might be until March that it gets done. But that's funny, I marked it. I forgot I did that. Oh, and this little guy right here. I did do this as a quiet color too. And this one I did actually decide to come back after I was done coloring and I got my black pen out and I just went over the lines of the image again, because the way the Prismacolor went over, it kind of muted those lines and I wanted them to stick out more. So I did decide to do that. And even after doing that, I don't know if that was the right thing because the lines everywhere else now aren't as heavy. So it's always a tough choice whenever you decide to do something to alter the image and then enjoy that change. I don't know. It's not too bad, but yeah. So this one was done in my Prismas. The first two, let me see, these were Prismas, and then these two were both Crayola, my Crayola colored pencils. And I did some of my, oh my goodness, the lamp is right there, my metallic markers on the stars there. So yeah, that's everything for the month of January. So I had a lot of fun coloring all the books that I could. I think it's so funny I forgot about this page in my Circle of Life. Oh my. So I have a lot of plans for February. I do want to possibly start the video. I have a bunch of hashtags that I have collected from everybody. So I didn't make any myself, but I did research as many of the hashtags as I could to follow along with, and I want to compile all those into a video and mark my pages for that, so you can help me plan for the month of February, and you get to learn about the different hashtags that are out there if you're not aware of them already. There are so many, and I know I don't have them all because that would take a lot of time to just collect them. But I did compile quite a few that I want to attempt my best to get to and share that with you guys. I want to go through my pages and tab them with you guys, and then you can see what my plans are for February. So those were my completed pages for January, and I had a lot of fun. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I really want to get into different mediums and try out new things for the month of February so that I can have more diversity when I'm coloring. So hopefully that will, I need to push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's all I have for you today. So I hope you guys all have a great and colorful day. Bye!